What's going on, everybody? Welcome to MLB Live Before Lock, presented by Stokastic. We are on the Stokastic YouTube channel, and I am Eric Lindquist. You can follow me on X at Eric Lindquist, right down there. Super easy, super efficient. And right below me here, Mr. Matt Bellman at Fantasy Tips Matt. Go give him a follow on X here, as we're going to break down tonight's tournaments that we got going on the DraftKings side, FanDuel side, and then we'll turn it over to NFL Live Before Lock for our showdown. We got the Washington Commanders. We got the Green Bay Packers. Don't go anywhere for that. That'll be Lofty and Greg breaking everything down for you that you need to know. And I am paying very close attention to the actives and actives. Will he or won't he? Chris Rodriguez. That is really what matters the most to me from a betting perspective. Going to try to pounce on that. Might happen while we're on the show. But Matt, how you doing, my dude?
I'm good, man. I always like when we got some MLB, some seam, as you like to say, to talk about.
Seam,
and
baby.
it's just a short show because we got an early start time for the slate tonight. So let's get after it.
Yeah, we got a little seam to talk about. Had a pretty good betting morning, but didn't play DFS on the early slate. I'm really excited to dig into this one, playing one lineup on both sites today. So I'll be able to talk about it mainly because NFL Showdown. It's just that type of time of year. I want to focus on getting my Showdown game in order. And obviously the Stokastic Sims are the thing that can help me do that. So that is what I'm going to be rocking with. We're going to be rolling right into it now. I don't really have anything to talk about outside of check out the Hall of Fame here at Stokastic. Yeah, Lofty's still doing an amazing job. Make sure you have the Stokastic avatar here as we begin as well. And if you didn't sign up or take advantage of the promotions over this weekend for week one, shame on you. No, not shame on you for not checking it out, because it was $1. It's a whole $1 to be able to kick it and check out all of the goods. But speaking of the goods, we've got an interesting slate to talk about here before us. Matt, anything that stands out to you? Because I don't have my player exposures on the screen here for a reason. I don't want people to be looking ahead. But we're going to talk pitchers like we always do. Anything that you wanted to throw out there about this slate right from the get-go on a 6-gamer? Because I have one comment, one thing that I wanted to bring up.
Not really. I mean, just I guess for me, when you ask that question, we've seen a bunch of slates. I feel like a bunch of the slates me and you have talked about recently have had some really good pitching options up top.
Yep.
We don't have that today.
Yep.
So that's kind of my overarching theme. But I don't know. It's not like it's the worst pitching slate in the world, but it's just not great.
I mean, it's not great, but I mean, the main thing I was going to point out here is that you go over to the stacks, and we got Colorado as, something that we're going to be targeting this McCade Brown fellow in San Diego, which is just a ballpark and a team that we really haven't seen at the top of the top stacks tool all season long. Do you know the last time, other than like a Coors Field slate, that we've seen San Diego at the top of the top stacks tool? I can't remember it, man.
On the road, they've been there. I mean, maybe not the top of the top, but this is a smaller slate without Coors, without the Dodgers. Your point's well taken. But the circumstances of this slate, I think, merit it 100%.
Yeah, the circumstances of this slate, I suppose, also have to do with some of these pitchers. So let's start diving into it. Hit that like button as we begin. I wanted to double check one thing on my end before we start this entire dealio, because I had something go away. Where did my top pitchers tool stuff go? Here we go. I needed to copy and paste that back into the spreadsheet after the update, which we got. Ryan Withers, he's going to be pitching 80 to 85 pitches. So once that update came through, wanted to make sure that I copy and pasted it into my personal sheet and into the Sims tool. But let's start with the most expensive pitcher on the slate, Jesus Luzardo. He's going up against the Mets, not the easiest team to take on, but boy, has Philly just handed it to the Mets outside of New York here in Philly. Not the concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can do. Actually, you can just get in trouble in Philly, I suppose. But Gavin Williams, the other guy up here who has a 4.5K prop, I took the under against Kansas City, and David Peterson, who's not pulling any ownership in the Sims whatsoever. But yeah, pulling right around 15% ownership. What are you planning to do with Luzardo? Because for those who don't know, you play in small field, but large dollar contest, the biggest that exists over on DraftKings. What's your approach here for small field for a Jesus Luzardo? And I'll talk a little bit more about my large field approach tonight.
I'm fine with him. I'm not sure I'm going to play him myself, but I don't feel very strongly about pitching tonight. Like, where I land is where I land. I hope it works out. Luzardo's in the mix. He's not number one for me, so I probably won't get there because I don't think he's worth the salary. But the counterpoint to that would be if every pitcher on this slate has like their A stuff, Luzardo probably has the highest upside of anyone. So there's something to be said for that. I don't like the matchup. I don't like the price. The ownership's fine for me. I think there are a couple better options, but I don't feel that strongly about it. So I guess long story short or long story long, I like Luzardo, but I'm not like in love with it. I don't think he's a must play. I don't think he's a must fade. I think he's somewhere in the middle.
I think you should be overweight to where he's currently sitting at ownership wise at 30%. I expected to see him north of like 40 at a certain point, or 35, 40. I don't think there's any security that exists on this slate. Would you agree with that? Like Cam Schlittler's coming off of getting his schlit kicked in. That was funny. But, it
was good. It was good.
Thank you. I have my moments. But what I'm getting at is that, like, if you're going to take security out of it and you go to like the earn run props today and you take a look at everything and you combine it, and obviously that's going to help you in the projections department. I mean, I don't want to double count anything, but I'm just counting strikeouts. He's sitting at 6.5 at a sharp book on FanDuel, minus 106 to the over. You look across the industry everywhere else. David Peterson's at 5.5. I don't really agree with that one either. Just kind of how I'm working through it. I guess it's plus 110 at BetMGM. But yeah, minus 106 with FanDuel right now too. Gavin Williams sitting at 4.5. Soriano's at 4.5, and we'll get into him because I think he's very interesting today. Bryce Miller is at 5.5 today and was getting jammed by the Sims tool until we just got an update, which is nice because he's starting to get trimmed back down. Bryce Miller sucks, but yeah, 44.7% you might be able to see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. I just think the strikeouts provide you such a floor, and we do have some expensive bats, but they're not in the best spots. I mean, Soto has to take left on left here. Aaron Judge is going to be going through, the Sawyer Gibson Long situation after Holton, who he'll face in his first at bat. You've got really Cal in an interesting spot against Soriano, where you kind of take away his long ball approach, the main thing that makes him valuable from a fantasy perspective. I don't know. It just feels like Jesus Luzardo is far more accessible for how I see this slate. And the Sims tool is definitely echoing that. I mean, we're overweight to him here in our top 150, and I ran this unencumbered, did top 10% to first because I know a lot of people play Minimax, play the $3. I'm playing one big tournament, but if I'm playing 150 today, if I'm playing the 20 max, you best believe I'm going to have around that 40% number at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I said, I think his upside is the highest on the slate, but can't ignore the matchup, which is really tough, and the price tag. He's the most expensive pitcher on the slate. So I think his ownership is fair. I'm totally cool with wanting to get over on him, but I don't think he's like severely underowned personally.
Okay. What do you think about Gavin Williams and David Peterson? Because I am vehemently against both today to some extent. Like, David Peterson must pay for his sins. One day we're going to wake up and the world will be a better place because David Peterson got shelled for 9 earned. Like, it's got to come sooner rather than later. He is not this good. He can't keep getting away with it, Breaking Bad style.
It's funny. 2 of the top, I think 3 highest hard hit percentage guys in the majors are on this slate, and you'd never guess who they were. It's Peterson and Soriano, 2 big ground ball guys, but 2 guys that certainly in Soriano's case has gotten shelled often when he's not really on. And Peterson has been not great recently either. I never play Peterson, hardly ever. Not playing him today at 9K in a really tough matchup. I like Gavin Williams more than him, but not a good strikeout matchup for him. I would play Luzardo over both these guys. So I'm kind of with you on that. If I were playing 9K plus, Luzardo's my guy.
You are that guy, pal. You are that guy. And yeah, in 30 minutes leading up to it, nothing's going to change. If you're going to the expensive end here, 9K plus, it is Luzardo by a country mile for me. If you wanted to mix a little Gavin Williams in, we've seen some of his arsenal play a little bit above expectation this entire season. And what I mean by that is it doesn't look like he's going to get a ton of swing and miss against righties. And then he's just got that, what is it, like the splitter or whatever it is? It's got like a 21.7% swinging strike rate against righties. Problem is these righties. The problem is these righties don't really have that kind of strikeout stuff. I mean, every single bat outside of Luke Mile at the bottom of the lineup, they're sub 20% against righties. Like that's a pretty wild 21%. I don't want to be a liar. 21% against right-handed pitching. Just Kansas City eternally difficult to get to try to attack.
Yeah, they are. The thing going for Williams, in my opinion, here is his ownership. You know, he's right in that mix to be the top guy and the top pitcher tool, and his ownership is significantly less than Schlittler, Luzardo, Bryce Miller. I like those guys more than him, but so does the field. So I could see the case getting to Williams here.
Opening day, Mackenzie Gore. Do you remember his strikeout prop against the Philadelphia Phillies?
No, but he started the year off like the best pitcher in DFS.
Right way.
Yeah.
7.5 juice ever so slightly towards the over, -115. He's sitting at 4.5 against the Miami Marlins today in a good pitching ballpark, even though we've just seen runs ad nauseum here in this spot. Now, Greg had pointed out a couple of months ago that he was kind of moving around his arm angle quite a bit. And that's kind of been true, where if you go through the data and you go through the game logs over on Baseball Savant, his arm angle is changing frequently, and that can be an indication that somebody's hurt or dinged up. I'm not positive how I can kind of intertwine that analysis, but what I can do is I can copy and paste his K rate over the course of the last 30 days, over the course of the last month. I can take a look at, his last 3 months of data. I can kind of do that all pretty darn cleanly. Mackenzie Gore, it's just a 19% K rate against lefties and a 24% K rate against righties over the course of the last 5 starts. What?
I don't even think you need to do all that because he's coming off the IL with a shoulder injury. Yeah. So clearly he was hurt. Who knows if he's fully healthy now, but he's didn't throw any rehab starts. I don't even think he threw bullpens, but that's it. He didn't face any live hitters. That's why his K prop is so low, because he's not expected to go more than 5 innings max. Right.
It's just one of those things to point out because, again, I think the range of outcomes for what is pitched, we got the pitch mix, or we got the pitch allotment for Ryan Weathers down here, who ironically isn't showing up as much as what I would even want. I'm playing Ryan Weathers for what it's worth against Washington. There are tons of strikeouts available, over 4.5. I bet it this morning was my first thing that I really stood out at. I only put him in for 81 pitches this morning, and it was just getting jammed to the over. Then it gets announced 80 to 85 is the exact number. He got up to 64 in his previous spot. Love Ryan Weathers there as well. Again, we're kind of throwing everybody into the mix here because everybody's in plan. I'm keeping Schlittler for last because he's our highest projected and the guy against Detroit that the Yankees got to find something to work here. It's not gone well the last 2 days, I can tell you that much. But Gore and Weathers, an interesting spot there in Miami for both of them. I have no idea how to even start to pinpoint how many pitches Mackenzie Gore could go. But my guess is that we could get to a spot where it just ends up being more than we think. If he's just been going through his normal stuff on the side, he had a 25 bullpen session on the 8th. I mean, what are we doing here, Mackenzie Gore?
Yeah, actually with the unknown with Gore, I like Weathers more because I think the spot's better. It's weird to say that though, because Gore is certainly the better DFS pitcher. I think if you're playing Gore, you hope for you have to hope for 5 shutout innings with a lot of Ks, which he's capable of, but I don't know. I'm with you that there's an unknown to this, and it might be more than we think because it's not like he was out for a month or 2 months or months. He was just out for a couple of weeks. That said, the Nationals are playing for nothing, and maybe they just want to get him right. And even if he's pitching well, they're fine with it. So for me, Gore's a no. I'm not playing Gore. If I were playing large field, I'd probably have a little bit, but I wouldn't even mind not having a little bit because I think he's really expensive for the question marks.
Agreed. Ryan Weathers is just good too.
I still would play him over Peterson though.
That's true. That's true. David Peterson must just suffer at some point. I'm so sick of this guy. I'm so sick of David Peterson. I'm so tired, Matt. I'm so tired. But we got Schlittler and we got Soriano. Soriano is not showing up at all, which is a little bit surprising to me because it's in Seattle. And I think that there are enough strikeouts available still here where I'm going to get to some Soriano. I get it. Is he maybe like 15, 16% against this Seattle team that has all guys who smash baseballs? Sure. But it's a great ballpark to be in. 4.5 strikeouts juiced heavily towards the over. 15.5 has moved to 16.5 for an outs prop. I don't know. It's interesting. And then Cam Schlittler, who the Sims tool, I mean, just give me all of that you got in a bag of potato chips, I suppose. But I don't want to get to like 75% of him coming off of getting shelled and finally looking like the fastball isn't going to be the only thing that can get him outs. You got to throw the cutter. You got to throw the curve. You got to find ways of being effective. And, this is a good lineup for strikeouts. Carpenter and Green move up one. Colt Keith is further down in the lineup at 22.2% there. So not going to be the guy who's leading off there. They go to the Torres side of things. Parker Meadows and Javier Baez at the bottom of this lineup. I don't know. You could do worse than Cam Schlittler. That's for damn sure. And he is the Sims du jour. Do you feel a big bounce back outing coming for Cam Schlittler?
Not really, but I'll ride the Sims with it.
I'm torn. I'm Natalie and Bruglia over here. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm torn. No idea what to do with him.
I don't love pitching on this slate. So Schlittler is like the cheapest of the real good pitchers, and the Sims like him a ton. So I'll ride with that. I don't have any like strong takes. I don't care about his recent blow up. His underlying stuff is really good. I don't think he's impervious to getting hit, as he clearly just showed. And Detroit's lineup is, they've got their warts, but they've got talent. Like if he's not on his A game, it's not the Rockies. So yeah, I like Schlittler here. It's not like I feel incredible about it, especially because he will be the highest owned. But at this price tag, it's deserved. Pretty high K rate, good stuff. I'm fine with it, and I'm playing him myself.
In the craziest news of today, Bryce Miller has a 5.5 juice towards the over strikeout prop because the Los Angeles Angels come to town. When the Los Angeles Angels come to town and you have a right arm attached to your body and you tend to throw the ball that direction, you get a huge strikeout prop attached to you. And I will say he's probably the most uncomfortable person that is showing up here in the Sims. Now, 44.5%. Depends on which contest archetype. I've screwed around with the percent to first a little bit today. 25%, you're going to get a little less. As we go 10% to first here, you get a little bit more. And part of it is the 6,600. You talked about how bad pitching is on this slate. It's kind of why I like getting overweight to Luzardo, because if somebody has the mega giga ceiling, it's going to be Luzardo. I don't really know what the ceiling looks like for Mackenzie Gore with his pitch count, but earlier in the season, you would have felt pretty good about what that ceiling looked like. Gavin Williams has shown a ceiling at times. This is not going to be one of those times. Cam Schlittler, he's definitely the guy that the Sims have sided with the most relative to the field. But Bryce Miller, he's at 30% ownership and we're overweight to him. That is just wild. But the ballpark, the price, it all comes together in a nice little package, Matt. Are you playing any Bryce Miller tonight?
I'm playing a lot of Bryce Miller tonight.
Oh, here we go. I had a feeling you might be.
Yeah. Listen, I don't love it because he's not good, but he's in like literally a top 3 spot you can get in all of MLB right now, like all things considered, in Seattle against this Angels lineup as a righty. So it's not just the Angels. Like you mentioned, the Angels are coming to town. They're coming to Seattle. So they go from a pretty good hitters park and a really good home run park to Seattle, which is maybe the worst hitters park in the majors. Miller could still be bad here. And if he's bad, the Angels could get to him. But I think a lot of what he's bad at is mitigated by this ballpark and this lineup where he's just going to probably rack up Ks because. So, yeah, I'm in on Miller at this price tag. I don't think projection-wise he looks all that much different from the guys up top. Certainly, I think he's got a lower floor. At 6,600, I'm playing him.
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable click for sure. I'm playing single entry. I'm playing Luzardo. I'm playing Schlittler. Like, I'm not going to get down to Bryce Miller in one lineup, But if I were playing large field, and maybe this was just me kind of protecting myself to some extent, I ran the Sims this morning, and oh boy, did you get Bryce Miller this morning. I'm very happy that it's toned down to some extent, but
I don't know how you don't play Bryce Miller here. I mean, honestly, he's not good, but this is the nut spot at a really cheap price tag on a slate without good pitching options. So, yeah, he could go down and he could burn my lineups, but I don't feel good about any pitcher on this slate. And this matchup is good enough right now in this ballpark where I think you just play Bryce Miller. I really do. I think he's the best pitching option on the slate.
Yeah, I would have said Ryan Weathers if we could have gotten up to like 90 pitches, but I didn't expect that by any means. I really like for large field. The one guy that I'm sad about, Ryan Weathers, I already told you guys I bet his over 4.5 strikeouts. It's now juiced to a place where you probably don't want to go. It's like cucumber water. Like, why? Just give me the regular stuff. But that's juicing conversation for a different day. Let's talk a little bit about FanDuel here for the FanDuel folks. They need love too. No discrimination here, Squirrel. We got Jesus Luzardo. We got Cam Schiller pulling the most ownership. But your boy Bryce Miller is sitting here at 16% on a one-pitcher site, and he is way cheaper than the rest. I do think Bryce Miller is the most interesting for me on FanDuel, where you can completely get up to the tippy top range, get your Cal Raleighs, get your Kyle Schwarbers, get your Aaron Judges in the world, like everybody here. Fernando Tatis 3,600, starting to look like he has a pulse again. I like your Bryce Miller call on FanDuel the most, but is there anybody else that's showing up here for you at the top end on FanDuel?
It's Bryce Miller. I mean, how do you? I just said it on DK. Like, how do you not play
Look
Bryce
at his
Miller
value
here?
score on FanDuel. Yeah. Look at this. I mean,
very good win equity. Like. Yeah. He's, I don't know the lines off the top of my head, but just a bigger favorite than Gavin Williams, I would presume.
I'm probably going to end up betting the Angels, so let that
fair.
Be known,
but you're just betting them because of the value at their number.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not because they should be favored against Bryce Miller and the Mariners.
100%. Agreed.
So totally, it's two different combos. I know a lot of people won't get that, but it 100%. Is. Yeah. So for me, if I were going up top, I think it's Schlittler, but I think Bryce Miller just looks so much better than them at his price tag that he's the guy I would play. In large field, I'd mix in all these guys.
This is pretty much, to quote Mr. Lindquist, play Miller and may God have mercy on your soul. I did body bag a dude on Sunday, just pulled out the full Billy Madison on him. I had to. It had to be done. Tom Olson, hard to play Miller when I have 5 Angels in my lineup. That's actually pretty funny to me. Enjoy that as always. But again, FanDuel, this is different than yesterday where we had a lot of the slate overlap. You actually on FanDuel have one fewer game because we lose that Washington-Miami one. There's no Weathers and no Mackenzie Gore, although 2 limited pitchers on FanDuel. Hopefully you weren't planning on playing them anyway because we want to get to that quality start goodness. Do I have anything to push here? We don't have anything to talk about in terms of do I just give some love to, what do I even do? I just want to look at Greg Ehrenberg's stupid face one more time. There we go. That's it.
I mean, I got one for you. I'm not playing him, but the guy we didn't talk about.
Don't say Randy Vasquez. Don't do it.
I'm not playing him, and I'm playing Rockies. So don't get me wrong, but you got to throw him out there. He is facing the Rockies in San Diego on a slate without good pitching. So he's worth mentioning. That's all I'll say. He stinks. I'm not playing him. I like the Rockies, which it sounds like you do too, but I don't think we'll be surprised at all if the Rockies don't do anything because they normally don't do anything. So that's all I'll say.
He has an 11.7% K rate to lefties, 12%
he's awful
to righties, 263 expected ISO to lefties, 12.8% to righties. I would rather do anything. I mean, I would.
It's a classic MLB DFS though, like the matchup. I know. I hear you, and I'm not playing him either. And I am playing Rockies. I have to reiterate, but it is a classic MLB DFS where you've got such a bad offense on the road. It's like the Angels match. I mean, it's Bryce Miller all over again, except he's worse. But the Rockies are worse than the Angels. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention Vasquez. I'm in totality, though, I'm with you.
Well, that helps. Not. What are we talking about, Malakar? Do you know what you're talking about? I don't think you do. But that's okay. You're loved no matter what. Hit that like button, everybody. We're grinding MLB DFS here, leading you up to lock here. 14 minutes till we get to lock on DraftKings. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're just randomly watching MLB DFS in September and have never seen us before. That would be pretty wild to me. I wonder how many newbies we get. Can you show yourselves in the chat? I would love to know if this is your first time watching MLB DFS. Since we have 566 between Stokastic and between the YouTube channel, so between the X and the YouTube channel, I just love to know what's going on there. Mike Campbell, the plan on the blue side. We'll figure. Oh, you're asking EMAC. That's not me. That was a different Eric you were tagging. It's not very nice. It's not very nice at all. But he does.
EMAC looming in the chat.
Yeah, EMAC 2028. We just keep adding 4 years to it every single time that we go. It's cool. All right, you guys ready for the stack exposures? I am. I bet you are too. Let's take a look. 5-man stack exposures. Washington against Weathers. We don't know exactly how he's going to pan out. I will say this. Feel pretty good about his strikeouts, even at 85 pitches. I don't feel great about his opportunity to not get hit around, which is the main reason that I steered clear of the atmosphere over on DraftKings in one lineup. San Diego, McCade Brown. Apparently, we are really, really invested there. As I said, how many times do you see San Diego at the top of the tool in San Diego? Answer, not very often. But then we get Miami up against Mackenzie Gore. These three are all playing about the same ownership. So, I mean, it's basically just a pick 'em here. I think you might have tipped your hand, but one lineup to rule them all, one lineup to find them. Your favorite stack for DraftKings tournaments tonight, Matt?
It's definitely San Diego.
Okay.
It's not close for me. They are the clear top stack on the board. And I don't even think they're going to be the highest owned. I think the Yankees will end up being the highest owned because people don't like playing this ballpark. It'll be close, but I'm in on the Padres here. I like both sides of this game. I think the Padres, this McCade Brown he stinks. The Rockies bullpen is atrocious. It's a great spot for San Diego. They've let down a lot, but this is about as good a spot as you can be in outside of the ballpark. On a slate without a ton of good hitting spots, I'm willing to get weird with this lineup, stack 1 through 9. I like the entire lineup. Brown in this bullpen is bad enough. And I think they are clearly the top stack on the board in my eyes.
Yeah, they definitely are. I think Washington and Miami, this game environment, and then the quality of their bullpens behind them, it's just dog doo-doo. Miami walks everybody in the bullpen. Washington's bullpen is just subpar as is, was to begin the year, is now. Watching Rutledge yesterday, was tilting, hoping, God, I needed one more run. And then they got a lot of runs in the bottom of the 8th to hit that over, which was nice. It's weird how many times I've been on overs in Miami this year. It feels upside down, but that just kind of speaks to down year, I would say, across the board. Sandy's started to figure his stuff out. Yuri Perez got out to a hot start, and then things have fallen by the wayside. And I love the Southpaw Weathers here, but not going to be long for this one, and turns it over to the Washington side. I'm with you, though. I mean, the top stacks tool, that was kind of what I was copying and pasting over earlier, was just how much better they are. But I want to ask you about the Yankees, because this team is a headache today. In fact, our Sims just absolutely hate the Yankees. I think you want to be paying very close attention to the betting markets, because I think Austin Slater might be getting his one at bat, and you might be getting like even money on one at bat if Dominguez or Grisham come in and pinch hit for him afterwards. Now, Gibson Long has been better against lefties. He's got a changeup and a slider that play really, really live to lefties. But I mean, Austin Slater, I think you could be talking about a guy who gets pinch hit for immediately in like 20% of lineups today, or 15% of lineups, not in high dollar, because I think high dollar people have played enough to know Austin Slater. This is the shtick. But I do think you're going to see a little bit of lineup turnaround at the top here with Slater. And that alone is like, hey, I'll get to like the pieces on the Yankees that I want to further down the lineup. I like Ben Rice as a contrarian one-off. Not going to play him because there's just not a lot to get to there. We also have tons and tons of opportunity with the heart of that order, Stanton, Judge, obviously. But how you feeling about the Yankees in 0 of our top 150 as a 5-man?
I mean, I like it because I'm fading them. Like I'm playing the Padres over them. So I think they come in very similarly owned, higher owned in some spots for the Yankees. The early game, better ballpark. So I'm on the Padres side, but the Yankees look good here. I'm totally with you on Slater though. I mean, he's not good. There's no way he doesn't get pinch hit for unless like the Yankees are up huge here. He's only going to hit against a lefty. I think he sees one at bat.
Me too.
And then
that's what I literally, I'm getting a little bit twisted because you go to 2023, Gibson Long had like normal splits. This year he's been very reverse splits. He's
not going to see him though.
But I don't think he is either. I can't imagine the Yankees.
He's not. Why would they?
You have Grisham and you have Dominguez. They can both, and then you just slide over, you put Grisham back to center. It just makes too much sense. So wanted to bring that up. I guess I could talk about Tails for a second. Obviously, tails.bet/Lindy. That's where you can find me. Tails.bet is where you can find everybody, the expert picks page. So much great stuff over there right now. And a really slick app. You guys can check out the Tails app now directly there over in X. It's the bright orange one. It looks beautiful, very clean, very crisp. The people like it. So check it out. Tails, talking betting all the live long day over there, and looking forward to giving you guys more and more content for free also on the expert picks page. But I look at the Yankees and specifically the Slater piece, and it's something I want to get away from completely. If I'm playing more than one lineup, which I'm only playing one lineup today, he's obviously not in it. Any stack that's just on the outside looking in, or something that you think is pretty sneaky for today's slate? Because for me, that's the Angels if we're going to get 30% Bryce Miller. I know you said that you like Bryce Miller, and this is a spot to play a lot of him. Do you have any Angels whatsoever?
I don't, but if I were playing 150, I would. And or if I wasn't playing Bryce Miller, I would have Angels because he's not very good. But there's spots I like better. And, on the context of this slate, I think Bryce Miller is a much better play than the Angels themselves. I think the leverage is real. And if they're a team I'd want to be going against, if there was one, offense against one of the chalky pitchers I'd want to choose from, it would be the Angels. But he's not going to be like 60% owned. So, no. The leverage isn't like that great. They're just in a good enough spot where I think you can play them. I'm not, but I think you totally can.
Totally agree. Colorado, that's the one that I would also be entertaining, but probably not sure what's going to go on. Yeah, I mean, Randy Vasquez sucks. We do know that.
I like mini stacks of Colorado. I don't really want to full 5-man them because of the Padres bullpen, but the top of their lineup, the top 3 in particular, plus Tovar, I think you can use back hitting 4th, but you don't have to because you certainly want the lefties against Vasquez. And so you get, Freeman is probably my least favorite of the 4, but he's second base and leading off on the road against a bad pitcher. Then you have Moniak, who's one of the best value plays on the slate, lefty, hitting second against Vasquez at 3,300. Goodman, premier option at catcher. And then Tovar is 3,500. So all 4 of those guys, I think, look good. Not going to get a lot of love. Balances out my Padres ownership. I'm about it.
Yeah, I had played like 1 or 2. I mean, I had jammed Blake Snell on FanDuel yesterday. He was pretty good. But yeah, I definitely had a couple of those Colorado pieces. It felt easier over on FanDuel because, you basically just play the Hunter Goodman. You can only play 4. I said that's kind of a relief that you can only play 4. So on DK where you can play 5, it's like, who the hell do you want to play as that 5th guy? I never can figure it out. So I'm with you. I think they always constantly show up for me as like Hunter Goodman, Tovar, and that is about it. Or money.
Kind of made a point, like not meaning to that I was thinking about that I like a lot. I like them getting away from I know it's a worse hitters park, obviously, but getting away from this Dodgers pitching staff who just dominated them. Glass now, Snell,
Dodgers have a better bullpen than the Dodgers do.
They do, but they get Randy Vasquez.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So you're right.
And Blake Snell, Tyler Glass now, and Emmett Sheehan. That was a pretty tough 3 to be facing.
All much better than Vasquez. So to your point, the Rockies are going to need to get Vasquez early because they're not going to get the bullpen.
Correct. Just to touch on FanDuel here from a stack perspective as well. I mean, we've seen this constantly. You can get to Aaron Judge pretty easily at 4,700. Tatis, Bobby Witt Jr. pulling up quite a bit against Gavin Williams. Jose Ramirez on the other side of that one. There are some interesting stacks for the FanDuel side of things, but what you had said before, it applies to me yet again today, where it's like, hey, as a 4-2 or 4-3, give me that as 2 or 3 Colorado to mix in and get a little bit different. I also like San Diego a lot there, but the field does as well. So San Diego, just kind of going through some of the ownership here. It's Tatis, Laureano, Merrill, 3 of your 4 highest owned outfielders that we've got on the entire slate. Gets a little bit spread out here. And shout out to Harrison Bader, who's just gone completely ballistic in a Phillies uniform, now leading off against lefties. I miss him. He was wonderful at the end of his Twins tenure for us before we took our team, shook it in a snow globe, and never will be the same again. By that, I mean, I just hate everything. But anything on FanDuel that stands out to you? Same stack, same kind of approach for you over there as well?
I'd be more apt to get away from San Diego because the difference is on FanDuel, they're like by far the highest value stack, which is just
Correct.
Eating into their ownership. So I don't know that I don't like that. But then you also have the Yankees getting more love. It's a weird situation where like every team is basically getting the amount of ownership they should be getting. So in those spots, might as well just play the top stack, which is San Diego. That said, I think the ownership on San Diego, like the top 4, 5, 6, maybe gets like way too high. So if I were playing San Diego on FanDuel, I'd want to mix in like the guys at the bottom. Because I think the guys at the top, who I obviously would want to play as well, are going to be really, really highly owned. Like in small field stuff on FanDuel, probably 30 to 40%. All
righty, y'all. We've reached that portion. You know what portion of the show it is. It is Dong of the Day. Dong of the Day. Dong of the Day. Duke did not like that at all. I just want to point that out. Never do. I don't like it personally. I'm just doing the Spags thing, doing the EMAC thing. But then
there's only one thing worse than that. Do you know what it is?
No.
When EMAC does it.
It hurts my soul a little bit, but he really likes it. And you know what? He's special. We let him do the things
he gets into it.
I love it. I mean, we love you, EMAC. You know that, but also no comment. Yeah, no, I'll comment on it. It's fucking ridiculous. But yes, let's get ourselves to our Dong of the Day. Matt, who's going yard? Because I don't have a single home run bet on the card yet. There's one that I've eyed. There's one that I'm paying attention to. I don't know if I'm going to end up betting it when it's all said and done, but you'll find out in the Discord if I do. Who's going yard for us? Because I can't remember a bad enough home run board in a while. So looking forward to the DFS, cheering for my one guy that I am going to pick.
I'm going to go with a guy I just mentioned in a good spot, off the board, cheap. Vasquez stinks. Ezekiel Tovar going yard tonight.
Oh my. From the ether, from the absolute ether. I love that.
Off the top rope.
Yeah, from the top rope. I'll be able to read off all of these here for you as well. So throw your home run plays into chat as I talk about my ridiculousness, which is Agustin, save some for later. Agustin Ramirez going yard for me. Miami going up against Mackenzie Gore, right-handed human who hits ball high and far.
He's
going
good.
to do it for me. He's very good at baseball. He is very bad at catching, for what it's worth. One of my favorites to target in the stolen base department this season. But Goodman going yard, that'd be cool. And Eugenio Suarez. We got J-Rod from Pierre, or Pierre, because I'm from South Dakota, and that's how we say it there. Ken Ratty, love it. That's not a person. Malakar Goldschmidt. We've got Jose Ramirez from Sotex. We got King Mana going. Adele going yard. Never mind that. Ryan Stubbs, Ryan O'Hearn. We got that one. We got Ken Ratty Harper with Junior. We got Soto going yard. Julio Rodriguez. Oh, man, we got so many of these. I get a couple of these more in. Laureano from Good Greens. We got Manzardo here. He's a man amongst boys. That's why they call him Manzardo. We got Cal, which, again, there are other cows other than the Raleigh version? No, there really aren't. So that's cheating. He has 53 hump them already. Jazz Chisholm, going to go yard for him. And Tatis rounding it all out. Edmundo Sosa, are you doing crack? Put down the crack. Jake DeWitt, Harry Trader, well done. All right. I'm Eric Lindquist. You can follow me. Joe Adele Scratch Thursday. Guess what? Never mind that fun. So I like you. He's gone. It's your home run pick. It's voided. Good timing. At least we were able to stick around for that one. Fantasy Tips, Matt. Go follow my buddy Matt Bellman here. Great show as always. Talking you through the main slates on DraftKings and FanDuel. Any final words for the people as we get out of here?
No, was a great show as always, and can't wait to do it again.
Can't wait. Bart Scott season next Monday. That'll be Matt and me hanging out, kicking it. Wish there was Friday football so I didn't have to deal with Greg tomorrow, but such is life. We don't get everything we want in this life, but you can get Greg and Lofty, which I put my stamp of approval on. That starts up in 35 minutes? 25 minutes. Good job, Eric. Good math. 23 minutes. Look at that. I'm subtracting while I'm talking here. 23 minutes. That is Washington, Green Bay, Thursday Night Football. We're all going to watch it. We're all going to bet on it. We're all going to play DFS on it. So go check it out. DraftKings and FanDuel covering everything on that for the Sims, for all the goodness. Lofty and Greg. Let's get ourselves a heck up out of here. He's Matt. He's really cool and funny. I'm Eric. I talk a lot. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.